Despite the countless alternate Earths in DC comic lore, almost all of which contain a version of the Man of Steel, who may have entirely different moral values, the story of Clark Kent from the miniseries Superman's Secret Identity stands out, as it is set in a world with no super beings, where Clark mysteriously gained the powers of the superhero he was named after during his teenage years and navigates life as the most powerful being on the planet. Let's start with the story. In a world devoid of superheroes, a young boy named Clark Kent from Pickettsville was constantly subjected to bullying because of his namesake and often found solace in his solo hiking trips. During one such hike, Clark woke up levitating above the ground and instantly took off, being familiar with the powers from Superman comics and began to grasp the significance of his transformation. At first, he used his newfound abilities to avoid his bullies while exploring the world around him, and later started discreetly helping people, which eventually attracted the attention of the media and the government. Clark began working with a reporter to uncover the origins of his powers, but was betrayed after a few meetings when she attempted to film him, leading him to contemplate revealing his identity during the town's annual Halloween festival. However, after an explosion orchestrated by the reporter during the festival, Clark saved countless lives, including one of his classmates, and eventually realized the importance of keeping his identity a secret, leading him to drop the beam on himself, which not only made him a local hero but also turned Superman into a hoax. After entering adulthood, the boy who gained Superman's powers continued helping people under the radar and later moved to Manhattan, where he started working as a writer, while still being the target of all the Superman jokes. There he met a woman named Lois Chaudhary, and the two quickly fell in love, before Clark was attacked and taken captive by the government. While the government conducted several tests on him for days to determine the extent of his powers, Clark eventually escaped his prison, only to find several bodies in the compound, leading him to destroy the facility in rage, but not before saving the guards. He decided to be even more careful going forward and started wearing glasses to avoid being easily recognized, but still continued to selflessly help people and later revealed his secret to Lois, now feeling more confident and ready to face whatever the world might throw at him. After deciding to focus on his career and become a well-renowned author, the boy who gained Superman's powers began lending a helping hand to innocents as far as Africa, all while remaining a target of the government, which tried everything to recapture him. As Clark continued to build his life, he also started investigating sightings of other superpowered beings before Lois informed him of her pregnancy, which led him to offer a deal to the government to safeguard his family. Although his first attempt at establishing peace failed as mutual distrust quickly pitted them against one another, Clark decided to try a less direct approach to get their attention and started by placing a Superman figure on the CIA director's desk. Clark then replaced several military firearms with butter and even swapped 2 nuclear missiles between different carriers, forcing the government to agree to his demands, which allowed him to assist them occasionally in exchange for his family's safety before he eventually became the father of 2 beautiful daughters. While in his mid-60s with his powers slowly fading, the boy who gained Superman's powers became a successful writer, with his daughters already living their separate lives, allowing him to take a more relaxed approach to life while continuing his work for the government. Over time, Clark became more comfortable with his handler, who informed him about other superpowered beings working for the government, leading the hero to further investigate the source of his powers. During his search for answers, Clark discovered a meteor shower in Kansas that had given him his abilities, and he later found out that his daughters had also inherited the same powers. However, after finally retiring from his government work and becoming a grandfather, Clark now lived in a world peacefully coexisting with superheroes and started focusing on his writing career, while still occasionally flying with his family and spending time watching a lot of sunsets.